Oh, hi guys, another video from the shop. Just basically this is a bit of an update. A bit of, I think, week before last, quite a busy week at work. I think taking a bit of a toll by the weekend, and I was away with the most beloved. We had a trip up to Whittianga for a couple of days, which meant there was not a lot done on the weekend. Then just managed to get the videos and the stuff I'd done about the bushcraft practice that I'm doing, so I managed to get that on. And then another hectic week at work. By the time I'd got home and sorted the boys out, obviously the priority, I was fit for not a lot really, so I've got very little done through the week. I did manage on a couple of the evenings where I managed to sort of like motivate myself a bit more. I managed to get a couple of jobs done. I've put a new, I can't see this, just have a look. I managed to get a new hanger up for the belts, because as my number of belts has increased, obviously the first couple of hangers I had up didn't really work, and that's all about, again, more I'm learning. The more I'm learning about the properties of different types of grinding belts, and what they're best used for, then you start to what you get to starts to expand a little bit. So I mean, I got that bit of a job done. I did a bit of tidying up. I've tried to get my drill press sorted. It's unfortunately, I think I've said before, it's starting to die a bit. I don't think it's going to be long before it goes to that great tool shop in the sky. It seems to be anything over about a 4mm drill, and even the 4mm drills, it's binding and sticking and jamming, getting really hot when it runs. It must be, I mean, it's only a hobby drill anyway. It was only a hobby drill. It's not like an engineering heavy duty thing, but it must be 10-12 years old. So, and obviously I've used it for a lot of DIY stuff, as well as the little bit of knife making I do. So it hasn't had heavy use, but at the end of the day, it's, I think probably something like that you probably normally expect to get a couple of 2 or 3 years of good use out of it. So it's lasted 12 years, it's done me well. But haven't really been able to sort it. I've had the belts off, I've tried to oil things up, made sure everything's nice and free. Such is life. I managed to get a set of blades through to the heat treat last weekend, and I've just this morning, what I've done is they're still in the heat treat from the hardening and tempering and everything like that, but I've just cleaned off the front of the bevels and re-blued them so I can mark them, so I can actually finish the bevels, because obviously I only take the bevels probably sort of like 2/3 of the way down, then leave the gap, so then they will be finished off on the grinder, hopefully this weekend. I'm hoping at least get the bevels done and maybe something else. Got a couple of knives that I'd already got to that point. As you can see, I've cleaned the bevels up and everything, so these are ready for hand sanding, and I've got some scales and things ready. So I managed to clean some of those things up. Even little bits of jobs I'm wanting to do, like got some antler. A good friend of mine, Simon, dropped me off an antler off a damn sight bigger animal than I've ever bloody seen, so that should get some good stuff out of that. Some of the other things I'm trying to do is I've just got some ferrocerium rods through. I'll show these. I'm going to do an advert, and I was going to say an advert then, I suppose it will be an advert. It'll be a video on these when I've made them, and I'm actually going to fit these out with antler handles, and then the quick release toggles and belt fasteners. But what I've done is, the first thing I did with this one, as I'll spin it around, you can see what I've taken the colour and I've actually used them. So the first thing I did, there's a lot of stuff on the web about ferrocerium rods and how Chinese ones are crap. You've got to get, if you have a really good search around, you'll find probably 90% of these things are made in China. And the reality is, as I've said in the firelighting video, what I've found is I've never found one of these that didn't work, if you use the right technique and the right striker. So that's the thing. And what I found with these is these are quite soft, but they're very easy. It makes it really quite easy to scrape off some of the shavings, then faster, which I'll show you, because I'll do the one that I've actually used. These are obviously, I just bought a pack of 5 from a particular maker. Thought I'd give them a try, and like I said, I've just picked one out at random to try. Absolutely spot on. They worked absolutely great. But I will show that when I do these, and also like a nighttime one, so you can see, like I say, the test I have is if you can shower sparks while you stood up and those sparks are still going on the floor, that's as good as they get, and these are working. So anyway, but I'll show those. That's a video coming up, if I ever get anything made and manage to find time to do it along with everything else. But that's a bit of an idea. Also a video, and I still haven't managed to upload this, I've just finished editing it, and it was about how I sharpen my axes and the type of edge I take them to. So to go along with that, rather than making another one and go along with it, one of the things I said is that my Gransford, which is probably my oldest axe, so it's the reason I tend to use it, you know, most carefully, simply because of the age and the memories and things I've got with it, rather than some of the new ones, and the fact of how much it would cost to replace it. But I was just having a bit of a tinker around outside, and while I was out there, we've got some yuccas growing, and they've got some suckers, and I thought, oh, I'll take the suckers off. They're well up, they're soft, not going to do any harm. But as the suckers were growing, they must have taken some gravel up with them. Well, one of them had. It had taken some gravel up with it between the actual, where the sucker was growing and the main stem here. It got some gravel in there. And I just lopped it, and I heard the crunch. I thought, oh. So I'm not sure if this will even show up and how I get to do this, but that's taken some real teeth out of that edge. I think I can just about see that. So it really has taken a good number, well, one, two, three, two big ones and two small teeth it's taken out of there. And that, on my axe sharpening video, that's the point I was trying to make about, you know, you can put a lovely, really fine carving edge on an axe, but then you don't want to use it for anything heavy. But that was just a pure mistake, but it happens. So that was just to illustrate that, really. And that will tie in when the axe video comes out, which should be this weekend, probably along with this one and the all in a day's work. But one of the things I've also put on there is that the videos I'm doing are going to be, I'm trying to rationalise them a little bit, because to come out to the shop and do this kind of stuff, I'm doing this one at the moment because I've just mowed I've just run up and down, mowing all the grass, I've sorted the dogs out, we've just got back from doing some shopping to get a load of dog meat and bits and pieces, so I've actually been running around like a blue ass fly, so I thought I'm having a sit down for a few minutes. Then me and the most beloved are going to music in the park, just down on the reserve, so it's only a 5-minute walk away, down at the beach. And we're going to go watch a concert for a couple of hours, so I'm going to have a bit of a chill out. So I thought, well, I'll do this because I don't want to suddenly start something and be rushing. And it's just a little bit of an update that I apologise. I don't have a bushcraft training video for the last week, and I'm not going to push it this week, and I've got to get some work done with my knives. I mean, the reality is the bushcraft is something I love and I enjoy, and, you know, I'm hoping that we can get a community going in New Zealand and things like that, you know, wherever that leads. But the reality is I'm wanting to turn my knife making into a bit of a part-time. I don't think over here there's the market for anything else, I don't think, but, you know, even just enough part-time so that I could maybe get a couple of days at home doing this, which is what I want to do, and then the rest of the time at work I'll tie in with whatever I need, you know, to make sure I can pay my way on the bills and the mortgage and, you know, life. So yes, I've got these sort of, like, you know, so these needing to grind. I've got some hand sanding ready, the rods to make. I've just had to send for some more fixings and fittings because I made myself a belt loop for the axe and it's spot on. And I used the last of the small rivets I've got. So anyway, I've sent for that, so I'm going to try and get some axe loops done and the ferrocerium rods done. Get them out there. I mean, this is all in New Zealand. Obviously, anybody's watching me from around the world, you know. You probably find it might even be worth getting stuff and shipping it. And what they charge, you know, what they charge for a lot of stuff in Europe. Especially considering all I'm trying to do is make myself pay. I'm trying to learn the skills and pay my way, which is what I'm hoping to do in stage 1. Stage 2 might go a little bit further, that I can do enough and get good enough and get a little bit quicker to make it more worthwhile. So I'm rambling there, but that's where those sort of things are at. So I'm going to have to start looking around for a new drill press. I did mention at work the other day, a couple of the guys from the engineering, if anybody knows of a drill press, I'm hoping that they might be replacing one at work. Those big ones, proper engineering, they're huge, but you know, money's that tight everywhere these days. They don't tend to replace things on a rolling basis. They replace them when they die. It's a bit of a shame, really. But yeah, so that's the sort of thing. I can't think of anything else that I've got going on in here. I was supposed to be away, actually. I was supposed to be away this weekend. I think I mentioned that last week. Should have been down in Gisborne doing hunting, and I've got some camping planned in, bow hunting stuff planned. But unfortunately, a good friend of ours down there, who's the brother-in-law of the cocky we go see, is very, very poorly. So we've had to knock that on the head, but hopefully we've rebooked for the end of March, and hopefully, fingers crossed, news sounds good. So I know you'll never watch this, but best of luck, guys. I'm not going to say any names or anything like that, you know, 'cause without permission I would never do that. But best of luck, guys, you know, and, you know, best wishes out there. Well, like I say, I know you'll never see this, but I know, or people who know you might know. And we'll see you hopefully at the end of March, and hopefully, you know, brother-in-law's a lot better. So yeah, so that's where that's at. I've got some oil to change, I've got oil and filter to change on the car. That's been waiting for nearly 6 months. although it's because I didn't buy them, I've just bloody bought them. So I'm going to get that done this weekend. So I'm hoping to split a bit of time between getting bits of jobs done, like running up and down the garden in here, and you know, get some of these grinds finished off, because you know, I'm hoping to, you know, this is one of my wusks, so that's one of my little knives. Katie, if you happen to watch this, that's your bamboo carver coming along. Bevels to put on, it'll get cleaned up, handles done, case made. Hopefully that'll be on its way in the next couple of weeks. God, set myself up. But anyway, yep, so nice little, it's an upside down one. So the hand goes, so the whole idea is it fills the palm, and then it's flat, a flat edge along the front, and that's my daughter Katie. She does bamboo tattooing. She's been around Vietnam or wherever, Laos and places like that, and actually learned from the people who really do it. And now she's learning to do tattoos and stuff like that. Awesome artwork. Katie Walker on Instagram, amazing artwork. You know, God knows why she wants to do tattooing, but she does. And obviously, Dan, if you see this, your combat knife's on its way. I've just got the bevel again, same thing. All the bevels need cleaning up. Secondary bevel to put on it, then clean up. Probably going to look at getting some, maybe a bit of gum blue, something like that. Blacken it off. That'll probably be quite a nice finish. So might be a harder wearer finish. Although I was thinking of actually cleaning it up. If anybody watches this, put a comment down there. But I was thinking my other option would be to actually clean it up, ready to put the secondary bevel on, or even put the secondary bevel, you know, nearly on, and then give it another heat treat, and then just let the heat treat colours sit there, and use that as, you know, the dulling up. So obviously it's like now around the shop, but obviously a lot more consistent. This has got the heat treat and the this has got the hardening and tempering on it, which is why it's all like it is. But yeah, and actually on that is something I found, that although, I mean, I've noticed these seem to look really strange, which really worried me to start with, although actually that side's really consistent. I think that's probably more to do with how the anti-carb gets blown off when you're quenching it, because when it comes to clean these up now, they clean up really easy, compared to when I didn't use anti-carb and you had to really, you know, you were back down to the 120 and really had to clean the surface off to get rid of any decarb marks, and I get absolutely none. Now I'm doing the process I'm doing, which is basically, you know, I warm, you know, everything's really clean, warm the steel, just, you know, so it's just hand hot, and then 3 layers, and you know, get that to dry before I put it in, and I'm not having any signs of decarb on the blades at all. So that's really good. That's very promising. I was wondering for a while how to do that, and then I was actually sanding down one day, and I suddenly thought, oh, there's no signs of decarb, so obviously that means it's working. So with that, I'm going to probably stop off there and stop waffling, and like I say, I'm going to put this one up. I've got a video actually ready to go on, which is probably potentially the last of all in a days, depending on how the bushcrafty ones go, or whether I actually sit down and need to make a decision on where I prioritise my time. And considering there's so few people watch my bloody channel, I don't suppose it's down to me really, isn't it? But right, I'm going to leave it at that. So thanks for listening to me waffle, guys. Like I said, there's a few bits coming up. There's my axe sharpening video that's been edited, will be coming up this weekend. Another all in a days. I've started editing the video from a South Island trip when we went down for tar. Got booked, well actually, we to deer and pigs down there, but didn't see any tar, which is what we went, not tar, chamois. We went down for chamois, which we didn't see, but I'll tell you about that on the story. And a bit of a walk and some quite surprising find down Lake Hayes near Queenstown when I went with the Most Beloved for a bit of a trip down there. So there's 2 or 3 videos I've actually got on the thing that I'm trying to find the time to put together, but there's so many segments and needs a lot of editing and the other stuff, and trying to get a bit of time to do the things I want to do, like resharpen that bloody axe, and I've just resharpened a couple of other smaller ones. But yeah, so it's, you know, to say I've been so bloody busy and feel like I've got not a lot done, you know, it's quite surprising. But obviously you get home from work and a bit brain dead from, you know, and from meetings and all the rest of the kind of stuff. The last thing I need to do is do a job like grinding a bevel and finishing a bevel on the grinder where I'm not 100% on there. At one time I wouldn't have bothered so much because it wouldn't have mattered, you know. Now the last thing I want is a bit, even a tiny slip or a tiny mark. Yeah, that's the last thing I want now. So it's trying to make sure that when I do stuff, I've got the headspace to do it properly, and I think that's probably sums it all up. So with that, you know, give us a subscribe. I wouldn't imagine anybody would put a like on a ramble like this, but you know, I hope you're out there doing it, and make the most of the rest of the summer over here, and you're coming through the winter over there, guys, even though you're getting storms in Europe and stuff. So hope your summer's on the way and it's good. And like I say, subscribe, like, Instagram, Bushbimbler, NZ Bushcraft. I need to start a YouTube channel for the knives or something, I suppose. I keep getting told, but if I ever get any finished, I might do. So with that, I'm doing some leather work. I'll catch you guys later. Ending of the ramble for today.